Yo, what's happening, people? Okay, we are live right now, live from the village right now. It is 8:38 in the PM right now. It is the 7th of November, 2022 right now. I'm in London, England right now. Where you at, fam? Where you at? It is movie night. Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, made in 1995. It is an hour and 28 minutes long, directed by Joe Chappelle, starring Donald Pleasence, Paul Stephen Rudd, Marianne Hagen. It is a suspense horror. Subtitles in English. I'm just reading some of the technical stuff. But that is movie night right now. We're about to watch Halloween 6. If you've got it available, whether I'm about to watch it through Amazon Prime, you can either buy and or rent it, where you have to buy or rent it on Amazon Prime or any other streaming services. I think it's on Paramount Plus. If you have that, you can stream it there as part of the package, or if you have it on DVD, Blu-ray, or even VHS, maybe you got it on Laserdisc. However you've got it, get it ready on Zero. But if you don't have it, it's all good. You can still come along and have some fun. That's how we do it here. But let me switch over to this screen. Yo, what is happening, people? Okay, so it is Monday, movie night, Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. We can start the movie in a little bit, just a little bit. But yeah, get it ready on Zero. And I'll let you know when to press play to watch along, or if you're not watching along, still come along and have some fun. But yeah, Monday today, you know what? I've had quite a busy day today. I've had quite a busy day, busier than usual. Slightly busier than the usual Monday anyway. I was out earlier doing a little driving thing. I came back, I recorded a podcast, spoke with a musician. He's a grime artist by the name of Zio Zenado. Big man thing. He's been doing grime for a while. He's had music on Grime Daily, Jerem Daily, or was it SBTV? He's had maybe both actually, but he's had his music's been around. He's been around a while. He's been doing gigs, putting out music. He's been doing collaborations, big things. But yeah, interviewed him for the podcast because not only is he a musician, he's also a gaming geek. So we talked about games, we talked about anime, we talked about music and creativity, inspiration, all that. So we even talked about fighting. We talked about a lot of stuff actually. So yeah, look out for that. That's probably going to go live in about a week or so. There's still a few things to put out on the podcast channel before that comes out. So yeah, if you're not already, make sure on the podcast channel, that is Uncivilized Arts. There are links in the description. Uncivilized Arts. It's on YouTube. It is on Spotify. Check it out any which way is best for you, YouTube or Spotify. I might go on other platforms at some point, but for now it's just YouTube and Spotify. But yeah, check it out. Some stuff that's still to come on that channel, and all stuff to still put out on this channel, on that channel before the Zio podcast drops. But there's a lot of stuff on there already. We've had podcasts recently with Lance Carter. He's a journalist, former journalist. Talks about Arcane with a League of Legends player, and my friend and confidant, Sweet Monday. Sam Barbie's in the house. Wagwan Sam. And by the sound of it, you have been taken over by the giant evil tech company. Oh, I forgot to take the voice. You know what?
I keep forgetting it comes on automatically, and but it comes on automatically. I forget to take it off. But yeah, I guess I have been
taken over by the evil tech companies, at least for the time being. But I mean,
get back to my normal voice. How you doing, Sam? Appreciate you coming through. How's you and the crew? Just saying that recorded a podcast today for the podcast channel. That should be out in a week or so. But in the meantime, there's some other stuff that is coming out on the podcast channel. If you haven't already, once you get some time, we appreciate it if you check it out. Also, actually, I finished watching Buffy season 5 and Angel season 2, and today I recorded 2 videos sharing my thoughts, one for Buffy, one for Angel. I did them as 2 separate videos because I was thinking the last time I did it, I spoke about Buffy and Angel in one video, and it ended up being this really long video. So I thought to myself, you know what, let me just separate the videos this time. I'll do one for Buffy, one for Angel. And it turns out I had a lot to say about both Buffy and Angel. So there's actually 2 super long videos about to drop on this channel. So yeah, that's a little heads up on that. I think the Buffy one's like 36 minutes. The Angel one is like 38, 39 minutes. So yeah, I'm about to drop 2 excessively long videos on the channel. One talking about Buffy season 5 and one talking about Angel season 2. And yeah, the body, I do talk about that as well, because yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. And I would say that episode in particular, yeah, they really nailed it with how it was portrayed, and they didn't put any punches on that episode. They just went in, and yeah. But yeah, that's that's to come on the channel. 2 videos talking about, but I guess I've got 2 seasons to go of Buffy. So season 6 and 7, and 3 seasons left of Angel. So that's can I count actually? That's 5. Yeah, 5 seasons to go, I guess, in total. And they're what, 20 something, 22 episodes each, so they're quite long seasons. I would say that they seem to be, I don't know whether it's because I'm watching them, like I'm following a watch guide, so I'm going like Buffy Angel, Buffy Angel, Buffy Angel, Buffy Angel, Buffy Angel, and maybe it feels, because of that, it feels like it's going by quickly, but I feel like I'm getting through it relatively quickly. That's how it feels to me. But I don't know, maybe, I guess that's really mad. I'm still watching 40 something plus episodes between the 2 seasons, so I guess it feels quicker because I'm purposefully watching one after the other, and I had some time off, well, I took some time off, I should say, due to being a little bit on the poorer side of health recently. So I spent a lot of that just watching Buffy and Angel. That helps get through them a bit quicker. Guess that's something to do with it. Anya, though, her speech broke my heart. Anya was done really well in that episode, wasn't she? I feel like, because Anya's normally the comic relief, right? Because of the whole, 1,000-year-old demon and adjusting to being a human and not always getting the normal social cues and stuff like that, right? So she's normally the comic relief. And throughout the whole episode, I was kind of thinking that if they make any kind of jokes here, it's just gonna ruin it. That's what I was thinking to myself. If they do any kind of like jokes, it's gonna ruin it. And Anya's there, and it's like they're gonna make it so Anya says something that's supposed to be funny, and I'm glad it didn't do that. But at the same time, they didn't detract away from Anya's character either. So I'm glad they found the way of keeping Anya as Anya, but not making her the comic relief in that episode. Because I feel like if they done that, it would have just taken too much away from what it was doing. Yo, what up, Brax? I said to you way back, there is one episode in season 5 that if it doesn't touch, you're dead inside. Oh, that was it. Okay. Oh, yeah. I remember you saying that now. I mean, I forgot that you said it, but I remember you saying it when you reminded me that you said it. Yeah. That would have been the episode. Yeah. I think. I mean, I say this in a video anyway, but whatever. I'll say it again here. Had I watched that 20 years ago, right? I would have said it's a sad episode, right? It's sad. I get it. It's sad. I get it, but I think just in the last, 20 whatever years, and, the things that I've been through and knowing people close to me who've passed away and, that sort of thing, like stuff like that hits different. You know, I think when now that I've been through that on a personal level, things like that hit different. You know, and I just felt like that episode was too real. I mean, it was a good episode, like in terms of like storytelling and narrative and direction and creating that feeling of, you know, what everything Buffy's going through. But yeah, they really hit it. They hit it. Yo, what up, Jakes? Brax Biv in a place to bivvy. Little Jacob in a place to Bacob. No, I need to think of a rhyme. I need to think of a rhyme for Jacob. Wait, I think I had a rhyme for Jacob actually. I'm sure I had a rhyme for Jacob. I can't remember what it was now. I think it was like Little Jake's in the place. I could do better than that though. I'm gonna come up with a rhyme for Jacob. I need to come up with a better rhyme than that for Jacob. But what is up? What is happening? A lot's been happening today, actually, for me. I recorded a podcast. I recorded a couple of videos. Did a little driving earlier this morning. So yeah, I've even had a nap today. I had a nap today. That's crazy. I've done a lot. And I also just been getting the podcasts and videos and stuff like that ready. So I did a little bit of editing as well. And yeah, now it's movie night. Now we're back to watch Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, starring Paul Stephen Rudd, one of his early starring role movies. So if you have access to Halloween 6 on a streaming platform or on a physical copy of any kind, get it ready on Zero and we'll start the movie in a little bit. So what's going on? What's going on? That last episode though was a highlight for me also. You're talking about the body. Yes, yeah. Actually good. Sounds like you had a busy stay. Oh, for real. Thank you for Brax. You both good. Awesome. Yeah, the last episode I felt was a strong ending. I mean, part of me is like, I mean, there's 2 more seasons to go, right? So there is that. You know, when you know there's 2 more seasons to go, it's kind of like, but it was still a pretty strong ending though. But I do think the first episode with Dracula, that for me was a standout as a weak episode. I don't know if it was the weakest episode. I don't know if I was definitely call it the weakest episode, but it stands out in particular to me as a weak episode, mainly just because of how it ended. I felt the episode itself was pretty good in terms of what they were doing with Dracula. But the way it ended, it just felt cheap for me. And I was like, nah. All that for that? Come on. But yeah, man. Make time for 2 really long videos about to drop on the channel in the next day or 2. One's about 30. They're both over 30 minutes. So yeah, make sure you got some time coming up. 2 super long videos, way longer than I thought they would be. Apparently, I had a lot to say. But yeah, nothing in the first episode either. But once the season picks up, yeah, for real. I'll say like for me, it really started to pick up about halfway through. Like before that, it was okay. You know, it felt like it was coasted a little bit. In the first maybe quarter, or first maybe I say between the first quarter and the first half of the season, it felt like it was coasting a little bit. But certainly by the time it got to the Dawn's reveal, I feel like from there onwards, it really started to pick up. At least for me, that's how I felt like. From there onwards, it really started to pick up. Before that, it was kind of coasting. It had some okay stuff and blah blah blah, and it was typical Buffy, whatever. But from Dawn's reveal onwards, for me, that's when I felt like that really started to pick up, and yeah. You're talking about the body episode. Oh yes, yeah. We're talking about that. Well, it was, but yeah. There was an event in DC apparently. Yeah, but that episode, The Body, I won't say too much here, just because there might be people who ain't seen it and might want to see it. But yeah, it definitely hits. It that for me hit, and just yeah. And I'm glad they because the next episode, when they did the whole thing about the spell, I'm glad it didn't go through with that, because that would have cheapened it. So it was kind of I think the way they did it was pretty cool, that they don't actually show whether it even worked or not. Like, not really. They don't really confirm if the spell even worked or not. And if it did work, you know, what type of person would it have been? You just never, you don't really know. So I liked how they kind of implies that it could have worked, but they never actually confirm if it did actually work. I like that, because it had they went through with bringing it back, I'm like, I thought it would have just cheapened the previous episode. And yeah, so I'm glad it kind of left it as it is. Spike though, yeah. You know what? I wasn't for it in the beginning. I just felt it seemed stupid. And Spike in particular, like, since season 4, they've been bitching at his character. That being said, I think by the end of it, like maybe like the last quarter of the season, I was kind of, I was digging it. I gotta admit, I was digging it by the end, because it became less about Spike fancying her and, you know, maybe just wanting to shag or whatever, and more about Spike evolving himself, and it gets less of about this awkward lust that he doesn't really, you know, want to do, and because he doesn't, you know, they're still effectively enemies. They're just kind of working together through circumstance. So it becomes less of this like awkward fancy in her, and more of, he actually does care about her. And that I felt like by the end of it works better. But yeah, when it started, you know, even from like season 4, I just felt like they were bitching out his character too much. And yeah, when season 5 started, it was like, yeah, it still felt like they were bitching him out too much. And then with the whole thing, when they introduced it, and he wakes up going, oh bloody hell, when he has that dream about Buffy, and it's like, I was like, mate, this is what we did. Why, man? Why are they doing this to Spike? Like, can this guy catch a break? They're seriously screwing up his character, man. But I think by the end of it turned around for me. So, yeah. No, I couldn't. If even I wanted to, I went to the state fair on Saturday. That was a state fair. From DC, so it's understandable that you couldn't make it. Good breakfast. It was cold and damp and depressing up north. Well, yeah, it's rainy season right now, isn't it? And yeah, same here. Kind of, it didn't work. You saw the way Miss Joyce was walking. She wouldn't have been her regular self, like they were told. She would have been a zombie. Yeah, because they said that, you know, you walk into, you start messing around that kind of stuff, and you could be going into zombie territory. And even the guy who did the spell, who told him how to do it, he was like, look, it might not be her, or her as you remember her being her, right? It could be, who knows? So you don't know whether that was Joyce and the spell works and she's back to normal. You don't know whether it's someone that just looks like Joyce but completely different. You don't know if it was somebody who just happened to be wearing the same clothes as Joyce. You don't know. Maybe somebody playing Knockdown Ginger. Like you don't really know in the end. And yeah, I think I preferred it that way. All right. I'm gonna switch over to this screen because we're about to start the movie. So let's come over here. It's Halloween 6. If you're ready, we're about to start. So I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, then play. So 3. Oh, wait, 1 sec. There we go. All right, here we go. Go 3, 2, 1, then play. So 3, 2, 1, play. That's a bit loud. Oof, turn it down a bit. Turn that down a little bit. Dimension. I swear they're the same guys that did the Scream movies. It's been so rainy these past couple of days, eh? For real, for real. Yeah, that's northeast and I'm down south. I and myself more together and nothing to do. I would have planned in advance. What was happening in DC? Was it like a what was the event? Super depressing down south too. Yeah, it's a lot of rain, man. October 30th, 1995. Spike goes through a lot of character development. I felt between season 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so something to look forward to. But I guess that means he doesn't get killed off in season 6, because if he's in season 7. So now I know. Spike don't get killed off in season 6. All right. I like Spike actually. He's one of the cool characters in my opinion. One of my favorite characters. And the guy that plays him, James Masters, like, he talks nothing like that in real life. Like, that whole Cockney accent he puts on, that's not his genuine way of talking. Like, he talks like just any regular American. But you watched Buffy, and you wouldn't think that. You'd think like this guy is, you know, East End. You know what I mean? You'd think that guy is like proper East Ender, the way he does the accent. So yeah. And Drusilla, I thought I was saying, like, I put that post up. Drusilla's my new favorite, man. She really is, like, because with Drusilla, like, it's not just getting the accent right, but also like the little mannerisms and like the kind of nuances and just the way Juliet Landau plays that character is just spot on for me. The cowboy coming in. You know, these subtitles are way off. These subtitles are so far off the actual dialogue. It was a reparations. Okay, going in DC a couple of days ago, and yeah, about a resurrection spell. It was surprising to me that Miss Joyce still remembered where she lived and to knock. Well, that's assuming it even was Joyce, right? We assume it was, but was it? I guess we never really know. Maybe it was somebody just happened to look like her, or same legs at least. What are they doing? Like some like satanic baby ritual or something. whoever did these subtitles are so far off the dialogue. Like, the subtitles that you see on screen now are maybe like a minute ahead of the actual dialogue. Oh, is it like Drew? Yeah, Drew is awesome, man. Like, and when I've seen Juliet Landau in interviews, like, it's so far off her real life persona. So the fact that she was able to do it like that, that's raw. But yeah, we definitely need more Drusilla. But I assume Drusilla's gonna be more on the Angel side for now. Actually, what happened to Drusilla and Darla? I can't even remember right now, actually. Because I don't think Angel kills them. I know he set them afire, but he didn't kill them. And I know. And Drusilla turned up in Buffy for a little bit, for like one episode, and then went back to Angel's episode, the show. I actually can't remember what happened to them. I think they just like leave town or something, wasn't it? Eesh. Michael Myers got some hang-ups. Yeah, that is right too. Never know, and growing up till I was a bit older, I thought Drew and Spike were actually from over in the UK. Yeah, man, like they really nailed the accents, man. Which really just makes it even more of a shame when they introduced Kendra and her accent was so far off. Like, how did that pass? Like, they were so spot on with Drew and Spike, and somehow Kendra's accent passed being that mess of whatever that was supposed to be. Like whoever was in charge of like doing the accent coaching or whatever, how did they do such a good job with Spike and Drew and mess up so badly with Kendra? I'm a tad behind. I put 6 on, but the original started playing. What, the ghost of Michael Myers swapped around the Halloween movies, labeled Halloween 1, Halloween 6. That naughty Michael Myers. Excuse me. Yeah, they did. Yeah, I couldn't make out Kendra's accent, and she still looks 20-something now. She also was in Save the Last Dance. That's a good movie, actually. I like Save the Last Dance. This ain't no square dance. That's okay. I'll dance in circles, probably around you. I ain't seen it for time, though. Kerry Washington's in that movie. I think it was one of her first films. Maybe I didn't have a clear idea who Kendra was when creating her. Yeah. I think that's yeah. Is she gonna be Caribbean? Irish? Cockney? Like some combination of like things like I'm Kendra, the vampire slayer. Still though, they did Kendra dirty though. Like she should have, I mean, the way she went out, I don't know, it kind of felt cheap to me. Like she should have had more of a fight or something. But you kind of saw it coming the moment she's like, gave Mr. Pointy to Buffy. I was kind of like, yeah, she's gonna die. The moment she gave Buffy that the stick, I would say like it's my favorite stick or whatever, my lucky steak, I think she called it. I was like, yeah, she's gonna die. She's gonna die. But man, her death was, yeah. Oh, you got busted. Peeping Tom. Spying on the women while they're getting changed. They got to... Oh wait, here's Paul Rudd. Ant-Man. When it got to this season, when they were in college, the demon species, Kathy, was my favorite. The glowing torsos, turquoise eyes, black hooded cloaks, the orange skin was awesome. I also remember Kathy. Yo, what up, Carly Marksy? Remember me here after? Yeah, I believe I do actually. Been a little while, but yeah, I remember the name, Carly Marksy. How you doing, man? How's your day going? How's your day been? Appreciate you joining this live stream and watching Halloween 6. If you have it, we are about 14 minutes, just about 14 minutes into the movie. If you want to start watching from there. Or if not, just come along and have some fun, whether you're watching it or not. It's all good. At least she died by Drew's hands, or should I say fingernail, then a crappy vamp. True. I mean, if you're gonna get killed in a sucky way, at least get killed by one of the better vamps out there. Should that hypnosis thing. Cut her neck with her fingernails. Donald Pleasance. Yeah, McAfee was Buffy's roommate. She turned her. Oh yeah. I remember now. That was like season 4, I think. Tell you another thing I didn't particularly... Oh, it's not that I didn't like it. I think that's a bit harsh. But it was something where I felt like they could have done more and they chose not to for whatever reason. But an episode when Tara's family comes to visit and they're talking about taking her back and how she's half demon and they need to look after her and all that kind of stuff. And in the end, they find out that she's not half demon, she's full human. Well, apart from being a witch, you know. Yeah, that to me, I just felt like they pulled punches. It just felt like they cheaped out on it. Yeah, they regenerated themselves. Well, I've always said that's a demon thing. Unpopular opinion. I felt sorry for Riley. Is that an unpopular opinion though? I don't know. I think a lot of people. Well, I guess I wouldn't know, but I'd imagine a lot of people would agree with that. Or maybe not. Maybe in Buffy circles, people don't feel sorry for Riley. I mean, I don't know how I feel about Riley actually, because I guess I could kind of see it from both sides. On one hand, yeah, he feels neglected, and I get that's a big thing. I ain't trying to say that. And the reason he feels neglected is pretty much due to Buffy and how she is. So that's a thing. But then he kind of dropped it on her like all of us. In the Buffyverse, Riley wasn't popular. Oh, okay. Interesting. But yeah, he kind of dropped it on her like in an awkward way, pretty much. Like, yeah, oh, by the way, I got this offer to go back to the army deep undercover. And I don't know if I'm going to go, so I'm going to leave at midnight tomorrow. Unless you convince me to stay otherwise. It's like, wait, what? Kind of short notice. So yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, I'll say his feelings were justified. I'm not. I was the way he went about it though, not so much. But then it ended with Buffy chasing after the helicopter, but missing it. Tara was a witch, not half creature. In some cases, witches, warlocks, etc., and considered to be human at the point. No, she was. Well, yeah, I mean, but her family said she was half demon, where she wasn't. It was a lie to, try and keep her in line. She wasn't actually half demon, but they lied about that just to keep her in line, and it turns out that she isn't. But yeah, that whole episode, I just felt like they was pulling punches, because effectively you have this character who is lesbian, a witch, and her family thinks she's half demon, and in the end it was like, oh, we're just gonna go home and you never see them again. And I just kind of felt like there's so much you can do with Tara and that character that they introduced in that episode and then ultimately did nothing with. And Tara was like a background character, had her moment in the sun, then went back to being a background character. Well, maybe not quite background, but pretty much near enough to. Which think Donald President's most memorable role? Probably Blofeld, actually, I'd imagine. Pretty Blofeld, I think like 2-3 times in the James Bond movies. Evil, she wanted to have a regular human life. And he was a dick for that, without a doubt, but he just wanted her to love him the same way he did her. Yeah, indeed. And Tara was a grown-ass woman. Her choice was her choice. Yeah, the things with Tara is like, because you don't really know much about Tara prior to that. And then you finally get this episode where you introduce more about her backstory. But it just didn't really go anywhere in the end. So it was like, there could have been something. But in the end, it wasn't much. I mean, especially this is like, what, 2000, right? Late 90s, things like 2001 this season was. So Tara's whole family, I mean, that could have been like real hardcore, cultish type, bigoted, the whole thing they could have done. And in the end, it was just like, yeah, we'll go now. You've made your choice, and we'll go home. And then they just left her alone. It's like, all right, well. This year has gone so fast. Can't believe Christmas just around the corner. Yeah, man. Mariah Carey season. 99, yeah, 2001. Yeah, the gravestone on Joyce's gravestone said 2001. I'm not even looking forward to Christmas. Really? But Mariah Carey, though. Amy Adams, oh, in that episode. Oh, wait, was that Amy Adams? Oh, snap, I don't even recognize her. What, the one who played a cousin? Oh, snap, I didn't even recognize her. I ain't even recognize her. Amy Adams. Amy Adams is, was that Man of Steel, wasn't it? Not even. Oh, what happened there? Michael Myers strikes again. Or did he? Not even a Mariah Carey song. So far in this movie, it seems like Michael Myers is chasing a baby. I'm not sure what Paul Rudd's role it is, but he seems to be some kind of like internet conspiracy theorist type dude. Maybe Mariah Carey song will get me in a festive mood. Ah, well, damn. If Mariah Carey can't do it, then boy. If the situation was similar to the Income Amiga episode, they weren't really evil. They were doing whatever they had to for them to get through. Just trying to survive in this crazy old world. I understand that. I'm going to act like the Grinch's Christmas. What, you gonna try and steal Christmas though? You can steal Christmas so the kids can't have no fun. know her from Enchanted, and I love that film. I ain't even sorry. Ain't no shame in it. I ain't seen it, but ain't no shame in it. They could have renovated the heck up out of that house in this Michael Myers movies. What, the old house? I mean, probably don't want to. Nobody want to go in there. Oh, you know that name. So Jamie Lloyd was the daughter of Laurie Strode, right? It was like the little girl in the previous two movies. If I get an incredible present for Christmas, I might start getting in Christmas present. Well, what's an incredible present though? What were you talking? Did you need to watch Uncharted? My favorite Disney movie. How many Uncharted movies are there? I swear there's like 100 of those things. Yeah, that's so they just killed her off in this movie then. Well, grown up version at least anyway. It's like 6 years later, so she's like teenage years or something. So, you know, the horror doesn't end after October. It's all about that Christmas horror now. Wait, no, that's kind of like the history of Christmas, actually. I read somewhere that carol singing has its roots in a time where people would go around knocking on people's doors and robbing them or something like that. Just like committing crimes. Like, it was called Saturnalia. And it was pretty much like the Purge. Well, this guy's rude, you know. Rah. And this girl looks like Nicole Kidman. Yeah, tell him. Uh-oh. There's one Enchanted movie. And a new one coming this month. I swear there's loads of those movies. Or maybe not. Maybe I thought there were and there isn't. Maybe I'm confusing it with something else. Enchanted 2007, Amy Adams and Susan Sarandon. Okay, so there's Enchanted, then there's Disenchanted coming, or maybe it's out already. And I guess there's other movies with the name Enchanted in them, but not necessarily part of that same series. Back in 2014, I heard on the YouTube channel that heads were placed at trees maybe thousands of years ago or so. That's crazy. Yeah, that's probably true. But yeah, man, Saturnalia, I remember reading about this a while ago. So yeah, Christmas has its roots in some horrific history. Sounds like a crazy time. Imagine living in a time though where it'd be perfectly normal and legal for people to turn up on your doorstep and rob you. I mean, that happens now, but it's not legal. You know what I mean? But imagine living in a time where that's totally legal and just fine and the thing to do. You can't even call the police and that, and it's just like, yeah, that's just what happens. Oh, excuse me. Because what right? On the real, it was hella crazy. That must have been the norm back then. Why is Ant-Man acting like such a weirdo in this movie, though? This is 1995. So this is before he was in Friends. Like maybe a few years before he was in Friends. Acts of barbaric violence was commonplace. So during time period, ancient times, monarchs ruled over an entire country. I've always hated Christmas, but I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to it this year. I ain't looking forward to shopping though. That triggers my anxiety so bad. Something special happening this year? Christmas time, mistletoe and wine, children singing Christian rhyme, logs on the fire, gifts by the tree, time to rejoice, some. Oh, you found a baby in the toilet though. My mother first told me about royalty back in that time period. Yeah, people were mad back then, but back then, they just, you know, people didn't even know any better. They didn't know no better. Well, maybe some of them did. I don't know. Looks like a rune. Is she still alive though? I swear her eyes moved. How many movies they gonna have to make before people start taking this Dr. Lewis guy seriously? Like, Malcolm Myers done killed bare people already, and you always got some guy who's like, "Oh, it's not what's happening; it's some crap." Like, shut up. This is the 6th movie, and you're still acting like it's some myth or whatever. Like, you need to start paying attention to this guy. Man's been saying this since Halloween 1, since like 1978. It's 1995 now. It's like 20 years later. Or no, that's not right. 16. I can't do maths. 17. Like 17 years later. Man's been saying this for 17 years at this point, and people still aren't listening to him. It's like, come on. This is 1 year before Scream. Did he just do a Beavis and Butthead laugh? Man just did a Beavis and Butthead laugh, you know. Doing a big family thing. I spent last year alone, pretty much, with me having COVID. So now it's time to join in the festivities. That's cool. I'm probably just going to listen to Mariah Carey on repeat, to be honest with you. Hey, don't shout at the lady. What's the matter with you? Why's Ant-Man so rude? If they didn't believe in a certain way when it came to religion, bullshit, they'd be lucky if they were just jailed, put in a dungeon for it. Yeah, be like that, man. No religious freedom. It's an American, gotta go with the Thanksgiving vibe too. Got a dark history too, apparently. Indeed it has. Yeah, very dark, tragic. Not sure that's the right way to describe it, but yeah. Yeah, man, mother's gonna be throwing down in the kitchen again. Yeah, was it collard greens and mashed potatoes, sweet potato pie, turkey, yams. Hotel, yeah, impressed me. On Saturday, Sophie and Holly liked Hook. Hook, oh, the Robbie Robin Williams movie with Dustin Hoffman as Captain Hook and Robin Williams as Peter Pan, but he's all grown up. Have I seen that film? I'm not sure that I have, you know. You know what? I'm not sure I've actually seen that film. But I'm gonna have to rectify that one. That's an old classic. Yeah, the blockbuster is the US. You already know it's drenched in dark history. Yeah, that was yeah, I guess you know what happens. I guess certain films, for one reason or another, just kind of escape your viewing, and then it gets so long that you don't even think about it after a while. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? I mean, I know about the movie clearly. I know it exists, and I know what it's about, or know generally what it's about. But yeah, now I don't think I've actually watched that film. Out of all the Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman movies I've seen, I don't think that's one of them. And if I have seen it, then I guess it's been so long that I've just forgotten that I've watched it. So either way, yeah, it needs to be watched. That's not the question, no. Not what she asked, though. Yeah, you Haze, you got it. And Cornish hens, pecan pies, white cake, hope she makes ones, just etc. And I'll ask if she'll do some mashed potatoes. Yeah, and I see some of these videos that people put out during Thanksgiving, you know, about some of the food that gets made, and it's usually mama or grandma that throws down in the kitchen, making like bare food for everybody. People turn up, eat food, go home, don't help with the washing. You know, stuff like that. You know, yeah, one person turns up, takes like loads of plates of takeaway, just like piles and piles of food, and then just walks out. Everything is just dark history. The trick is to focus on what means to you. For me, it's all about the food. One of her old co-workers. One of our co-workers makes some dressing for us. She's been doing it since November 2008. And last year, my mom made some seafood dressing for me and duck dressing for my other sister. So I agree. Yeah, the grandmothers, aunties, the mothers, and uncles and papas. The kids on Netflix follow. Okay, cool. No, this guy went and scared Mrs. Strode. This movie's been on for 45 minutes. And I swear only like 2 people have been killed so far. Maybe 3. I kind of lost count, but it's not many. Certainly like in 45 minutes, there should be like way more bodies by now. And I've barely seen Ant-Man. Like I thought he was starring in this movie. Apparently he isn't. He's just kind of there. Saying, oh, I'm Tommy Doyle and I'm the kid that Laurie Strode was babysitting. Like, now I'm supposed to believe that Tommy Doyle, Laurie Strode's babysitting Ant-Man all this time? Really? Really? People died, but it's their death is the reason you're eating well. And nowadays, appreciate it. Cheese Christmas movies. Oh, cheese Christmas movies, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one, I think, really. It's like, it's supposed to represent this idea of giving thanks and being grateful for things. Literally why it's called Thanksgiving. But yeah, that's just about where the niceties end. Well, Mama Strode has just got gutted. Tommy Doyle is brought back in a Halloween Kills, played by someone else. Yeah, I guess I swear that guy looks like the Mr. X in Resident Evil. But yeah, I guess Paul Rudd would be too big an actor to do like Halloween movies at this point. They'll probably hit him up. He was like, you want Paul Rudd to turn down Ant-Man to do Halloween? It's like, come on now. That's not happening. That's not happening. Paul Rudd be like, to be honest, I mean, he's not like he had a memorable role in this movie anyway. So, Jamie Lee Curtis. Hey, look, big up Jamie Lee Curtis, but I mean, let's keep it real. she's not Ant-Man. So, I mean, she does other movies. In fact, she did a movie called Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think it was like this year or last year it came out. And that is a fantastic film. It's Jamie Lee Curtis with Michelle Yeoh, who stars in it. But that is a great film. If you've not seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, highly, highly recommended film. So yeah, Jamie Lee's turned up in movies. You know, she's doing her thing still. I ain't saying that, but come on. I mean, what, they killed her off? Didn't even give her a death scene, right? But she's back in Halloween because, right? Just saying, man. Just saying. Someone else was better in this movie. Oh, yeah. What do you mean? One of my exes were talking about. A couple of years ago, we both were like, some Native Indians celebrate it, some Native Indians so about it, and some of them don't celebrate it. Yeah, I think in the end, it's down to, like you say, the individuals, like your Sam was saying about what does it mean to you. I mean, for myself, it's trying to acknowledge everybody's viewpoint. You know, it's not for me to say you must like it because of this or you must hate it because of that, because different things going to mean different things mean different things to different people. And so for me, it's just more acknowledging the different viewpoints of these things, because for some people, it's ancient history. For other people, it's a direct link to their bloodline that they can maybe trace their family back to, right? So it's more personal to them. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I mean, I ain't the one to tell people how to feel about it. And that's pretty much my take, is like, feel how you feel, but other people get to feel how they feel about it as well. Some people love it, some people hate it, and like you say, some people just kind of in the middle. Hopefully the show Scrooge with Bill Murray on TV. Scrooged. I think I remember that movie, actually. Favorite Christmas movie. You know what? I think we got a few new people. Well, new since the last time we had this conversation. So dare I ask this question one more time? I know Sam's opinion already. I know Sam's incorrect opinion already. But let me ask Brax and Jacob this question. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Everybody but Sam gets to answer that. Mine has had mad beef since '78. I'm picking apart from the Halloween movies. I don't care. The Jamie Lee Curtis. She was in True Lies. She was pretty good in that. And Trading Places. Yeah. So I thought so. Yeah, little Jacob, Trading Places. She didn't show tits until she went legit. But yeah, Trading Places is a pretty decent film, and True Lies was pretty good. And yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once, superb. I have a massive crush on Jamie Lee Curtis. She hasn't aged well. Yeah, she's still a cutie. Yeah, I've been curious about that movie. In the 80s, Mrs. Jamie Lee Curtis was Prom Night. I added to this. Oh, yeah, that's like an old school horror movie. Jamie Lee Curtis often feels like she's playing herself. It's kind of off-putting. Yeah, I think that's probably true. To be honest, I'd say that about a lot of actors, though. They kind of just play themselves. It's not necessarily a bad thing, of course. It just depends on the character and the movie and how well it fits into this film and this, that, and the other. But other times, there are times where it's just like, yeah. Christmas movies. Because this normally. Oh wait! Hold on a second. I'm gonna catch up with your answers now. So I had a Christmas movie. I wanted to be in Christmas movies for years. So yeah, I knew we connected. All right, and okay, that's fine. I mean, you're all wrong, but that's fine. That's fine. Sometimes when you're sometimes when you're in the right, sometimes when you stand in the right, you stand alone. So it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I won't try to. I'm not the one to try and change people's opinions. You can have your incorrect opinions if you want to. We're all still friends here. It's all good. It's all good. Kiss good night. That's Christmas to me. Oh, that's one with Sam Jackson, isn't it? Sam Jackson, was it Gina Gershon? So wait, did it kill off Jamie or not? Because I thought they killed her off, but her eyes are moving, and now her eyes are still moving, and she's on some ventilator or life support, whatever. Oh wait. Well, she wasn't dead before; she's dead now. It is set during Christmas, but I just feel like just having a Christmas setting to me doesn't in and of itself make it a Christmas movie. I feel like it needs to have more than that to be a Christmas movie other than just a setting. Sam Jackson. Oh, Gina Davis, not Gina Gershon. My bad. Yeah, it is actually the correct. Yeah, I'm about to steal Christmas from you guys. You died in the beginning. Oh, are you watching a different movie? Yeah, they stabbed her in the beginning, right? And then, but her eyes were still moving, so I thought maybe she's still alive, but they took it to her like she's dead. But then somebody just came into the hospital and shot her in the head while she was still on some machine thing. So she's dead now, at least. Like, I mean, like she wasn't dead before, she's dead now. That's the costume. The Grinch. The Haze. On it. That's the costume. Yeah, it was that green hairy thing. All right, cool. See if I can get one of them. Oh, well, I got green on already, so I guess I'm kind of there. Should I cut out the film? There's two versions of this movie. Ah, see. We might be in different places then if that's the case. I'm not sure which version I'm watching. This is the one. This is the work version on Amazon. Let's see the version of this film. I'm trying to say we are watching different ones. Like watching Trading Places on Christmas Day. We're moving. Yeah, I'm gonna steal Christmas from the Nakatomi Tower. I have to change my name to Hans Gruber. Christmas Carol. Suntville, Christmas spirit now, I think. So we got Jacob in the Christmas spirit. Mariah Carey couldn't do it, but we did it. Jamie Lee Curtis was in some mystery comedy movie way back in the day. It took place over there. Where you might know it. Probably not, to be honest. I mean, I like Jamie Lee Curtis, but I'm not exactly all up on a lot of her movies. I've seen Trading Places. I've seen, you know, some of the Halloween movies. True Lies, and then more recently Everything Everywhere All at Once, but that's pretty much it, I think, for it comes to Jamie Lee Curtis movies. Die Hard on Christmas Eve. It's a good movie. It's on Disney Plus. Christmas rock, rap, R&B. It's Christmas time in Harlots, Queens. I like Home Alone also for Christmas. That's a fun movie. Also, not a Christmas movie, but y'all not ready for that conversation. Are you watching Terrified 2 on stream, or are you watching that alone? I ain't know, actually. I ain't know. I mean, I can get it. Because it's like $9.99 right now, isn't it? Well, like I said, y'all aren't ready for that conversation. I'm just saying. We should watch a Christmas movie on Haze Channel. What do you think, guys? Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. An actual Christmas movie, though. An actual Christmas movie. Not a pretend dress up like a Christmas movie, but isn't actually. Not a movie in Christmas cosplay. Oh, look at that. Finally. which is a scary Christmas movie for a change, like Black Christmas. Yeah, Black Christmas, they remade that, didn't they? If I remember seeing the original, I think I saw the remake. I don't think either were particularly good, if I remember correctly. But hey. That's wise. Well, I'm just saying. I ain't saying they're bad movies. Not far from it. They're not bad movies. Not at all. I just... don't class them particularly as Christmas movies. Just movies that are set during Christmas. Because I'll punch him. For a change, I should pick a scary one. Alright. It's on you, Jakes. I'm pretty sure I have seen the original, but to be honest, I don't remember much from it. I don't think I liked it very much. But I really don't remember what happened. I remember watching it. I know I've definitely seen it. I just really don't remember what happened in it. But I don't remember liking it very much when I watched it. But, I mean, I don't mind watching that again. If y'all want to watch that, so I'm good with it. I'm pretty easy as well. Kind of disturbing. Okay. I know it's by the same director as The Exorcist. What did he say about Michael Myers, though? Shit. I'm sure you will love it. Remember Christmas Eve. What day is Christmas Eve, actually? Let me see here real quick. It's like a month away, or more than a month away. Christmas Eve is a Saturday. Yeah, we could do a movie night on a Saturday. I might have to set myself a reminder, but yeah, we could do that. Man, songs that get these kids to sing, though. Uh-oh. So they're gonna get killed. So post about Kathy Griffin being suspended from Twitter for impersonating Elon Musk. The dictator rules. So it should be entertaining indeed. We need to find time to chat. Make him watch Die Hard and repeat until he admits it's a criminal movie. I've seen Die Hard lots of times. It's not a bad film. I don't not like the film. I could watch Die Hard, you know, however many times. It's not a problem to watch it. Kathy Griffin's comedian, I think I've seen it before. A lot of people have said that Elon Musk, I don't get it. I think a comedian I've always liked. Ooh. That's gotta hurt. Yeah, a lot of people are upset. Some people are leaving Twitter over it. I mean, he's made some questionable changes. Well, he's about to make some questionable changes. Let's just say they haven't exactly been implemented just yet. But aside from that, I mean, personally, I don't see the issue. I mean, a lot of it is just speculation of what Twitter could become because of the type of person or the type of things that Elon Musk has said over the years. So there's a lot of speculation of what Twitter could become, and not necessarily what's actually happened right now. Kathy Griffin was a fox when she was younger, trust me. Was he actually transmorphed into a human? Or do you mean she was just eating out the garbage and running away when the lights come on? You like, but you... yeah, that's a Christmas movie. And it's a good movie, but I can't tell lies on it, you know? Saying we go back left Twitter because of it. I mean, my Twitter experience hasn't changed, but then I probably don't follow that many people on Twitter anyway. You know, I think I follow like maybe a few hundred, 300-400 people on Twitter, and a lot of them don't post on a regular basis, so it's like you just see the same sorts of things most of the time. And I'm fine with that because at the end of the day, I follow the people that I'm interested in seeing what they're saying, right? I think what happens on Twitter is that a lot of times people just follow loads of different accounts. Like you look in somebody's like profile and let's say they're following like 15,000, 35,000, 100,000 accounts. And at that point, it's like you can't really be interested in that many people's opinions. You know what I mean? You can't really be interested in that many people. So what are you really following? It's going to be a lot of crap that you see, a lot of nonsense. Oh, this ain't going to go so well. Come on, you can see the blood on her face. Oy. Tomorrow voting day for the midterm elections. Twitter is already a cesspit of toxicity. What can he undo? I hate Twitter. Yeah, I think the internet is just kind of like that in general, but I think a lot of it is just down to who you choose to follow, you know? Like, I'm always hearing about people saying this and doing it. And I get sometimes, if you're famous, if you're known, it's harder to avoid certain things because it kind of just finds its way to you. But for like your average, everyday, regular folk, you know, just don't follow dumb people on Twitter because they're going to post dumb things. Twitter is whatever, I just follow and watch. Oh, you got him. I mean, not really, but... I saw Stephen King on Twitter telling people to vote blue. I hate rich people telling us normal people what to do. Go F yourself. He's going to 10 before they press and send on Twitter because once you leave a footprint online, it will always has potential to come back and haunt you. Hey, ain't that the truth? And we've seen that happen a few times as well. 10 years later. Somebody digs up an old tweet. Stab him in the head, man. Don't just walk away. Don't turn your back. Especially if you're a public figure. Put that stake right through his face. Put that right through his face. Come on. I mean, to be fair, I think public figure or not, anything you put out on the internet has the potential to be seen by millions and millions of people. And also has potential to be taken out of context and all sort of things. That's always a possibility, regardless of your level of fame. That being said, you know, you should always be allowed to express yourself, even if it is in dumb ways. So it's like or did they all hear that voice? Somebody posted every single thing about you, and you ain't gotta be checking in. Shit. I don't even King, but I find this step in now. They use their influence to make people vote. You are what's right for you and yours, and people shouldn't be. Wait, isn't the cop guy? Oh, that's a turn up. James Fair regardless, red or blue. Oh, she's in out as well. Oh, mate. Well, she's not going to be in Halloween 7. Yo, what up, G? FG in the place to be. Yeah, I mean, I feel like when it comes to that sort of thing, it's like, I get that, you know, I'm always in favor of people express themselves in the way they want to express themselves, and if they want to vote a certain way, and I get that part of that is feeling that everybody else should vote that way as well. That being said, yeah, you're right. You should never be telling people who they should vote for, because end of the day, it's not really anybody's business. Or certainly at the very least, it should never come to a point where you're, I don't know, banning people or blocking people or whatever just because they voted differently from what you voted. You know, that is like, I mean, that's kind of like where we are in the world sometimes. Just everything's literally so politicized to the point where even family members don't speak to each other because they vote different. After 1 month, I sent back the Steam Deck. Damn, man. Why? He said, if you vote sorry next election, you have lost your mind. Well, but I think half of Britain, or more than half of Britain, already have lost their damn mind. So, well, we'll see. Tomorrow. Early voting has been going for a few weeks. So you voting, Brex? And if so, who you voting for? Well, if you don't mind saying. You don't have to. If you don't wanna, not a problem. Relationship politics in the US is like Tom, Jerry, and Spike. Unity division that ain't going nowhere. Tom, Jerry, and Spike. Okay, that's interesting. Sometimes they work together, most times they don't. Jerry's always outsmarting Tom. Well, mostly. Tom outsmarts Spike sometimes. But Tom gets beat down by the maid. Thomas! But the maid is scared of Jerry. And you never see her face. You just see her legs. both are gonna despise or dislike each other regardless. You already know. I don't give a damn, feel me. Dr. Loomis, though, they're trying to make Dr. Loomis look after Michael after he spent the last 17 years trying to kill the dude. Well, we start looking after him now. You dumb. Can't lie though, this movie kind of picked up though. It started off a bit boring, but it's got a bit more interesting towards the end. What it lacks in kills, it makes up it in maybe a bit more depth in the story. Wait, Michael Myers is a daddy? Who's Michael Myers boning for him to become a daddy? We are watching different versions of the same movie. What happens in your version, Sam? Are there more kills in your version? I think there's only been like 4 kills in this version, 4 or 5 kills. Not many, anyway. What's he gonna do? What's Ant-Man doing though? Oh wait, so they figured out how to immobilize. They figured out how to immobilize him. Put a bullet in his head, chop his head off or something. He's gonna leave him there? Jimmy died in the beginning, and they find Maya's getaway. He stays behind, and it ends with him randomly screaming. Okay. This version hasn't ended yet, so he might still randomly scream. But it sounds like your version is maybe a bit shorter. I mean, like short to live. Like this version is like an hour 30, hour 35. When we was at the fair, I got a few stuff, 2 rings, 2 necklaces. He's just kicking the runes though. It's gonna mess everything up. Oh, has he got the mark? Oh, damn. Well, we got screaming. He started screaming. To be fair, I'm not sure. I wouldn't say that was random screaming. That scream did feel quite appropriate in this version. But yeah, he was screaming. So we got that at least. In memory of Dolan Pleasance. Yeah, he died after this. Yeah. Rest in peace, Donald Pleasance. So that was Halloween 6, or at least a version of Halloween 6. The version that's on Amazon, Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael. And, you know, that was okay. I think it started off quite slow in my view. It didn't have as many kills in this one as previous movies. Not as gory as previous movies. But where it lacked in, you know, kills and gore and that kind of stuff, it made up in more of the story. And the story does take a while to kind of find its footing, I felt. And perhaps that's partly because you're a bit more used to the gore and the violence in this and the other. So with this, it just kind of felt a bit clunky. But by the time it does kind of get its foot in and finds where it is, yeah, I feel like it makes up for it in the fact that it went more the story route rather than the killing route, which, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. The kills in my version was better. I'm guessing your version was a shorter movie with more kills. That's what I'm guessing. It has some decent kills in this one, though, to be fair. And not all the kills were by Michael, actually, as well. So that's interesting. Some of the kills were by this cult that's protecting him. But yeah, I guess you find out more about Michael and what he's about and why he does what he does. Adds a little bit more depth to what's going on. And overall, yeah, it weren't too bad. It weren't too bad. I mean, it did kind of feel like I'm pretty sure like all this stuff about the rune and the curse. I'm sure all this stuff is they didn't plan this when Halloween started. Like you know, that seems clear. It does feel very much like they made this up as a way of explaining why Michael has been around for so long, and doesn't seem to like slow down. So they had to do something to, and you know, just keeps coming back after they kill him. So they probably felt like they had to do something to explain why that is. And yeah, I guess it does a decent job of doing that, of explaining why Michael is the way he is and why has his strength and power and all this kind of stuff, and why there might be like 55,000 more Halloween movies to come, and Michael doesn't age, or at least not seemingly. Halloween H2O, is that on Netflix? I don't know, actually. I don't know. Let me see if I can find out. Let me hit this button real quick though. Actually, what is the next movie we need to watch in the Halloween series? Because I know there's like 13 Halloween movies or something like that anyway. Okay, so we just watched Halloween 6. So yeah, the next one is Halloween H2O. Made in 1998. And yes, it is on Netflix. Halloween H2O is on Netflix. Let me add that to my list. Jamie Lee Curtis, Adam Arkin, Michelle Williams, and more. I have seen Halloween H2O, but it was a long ass time ago. Oh, flipping out. They also got Halloween 2. I think that's the Rob Zombie Halloween 2 on Netflix as well. Yeah, that's Rob Zombie Halloween 2. But yeah, that's coming eventually. But next is Halloween H2O. Shall we do that next week? Or shall we... No, I think we... You know what? Let's take a break from Halloween. I think we do... Yeah, I think we'll do... You know what? Let's do Terrifier 2 next week. Let's do Terrifier 2 next week. I'll just drop a tenner on that for that's calm. Let me just drop a tenner on that movie. It's all good. But yeah, we do Halloween, so Terrifier 2 next week, and then back to Halloween maybe the week after. And maybe, I don't know, we'll see whatever we do from there. Yeah, 2 blue eye rings. Only color I saw, one has skulls around it with the Grim Reaper on 2 ends on 1 necklace with my Greek Zodiac symbol. And the evil eye against negative energy. I don't think the phone thing. I just think of Michael as evil itself. And I do is this thing me on Netflix. Going to is the next movie. That ish was $10 each a few years ago. Between 2017, it would have been like $6 or $7. Hey, inflation, man. What's going on with Alan anyway? He ain't been in for a few weeks as he abandoned us. Terrified 2, okay. We can be friends again. Okay. As long as we do Terrified 2 next week, we're friends again. Oh, I see how this works. I see how this works. I don't think Alan's abandoned us. I hope not anyway. I mean, it's possible, I suppose. I guess I can't know for sure, but hopefully not. Hopefully doing all right. Probably watching like BTS or something. Was it not BTS? What's that band? Blackpink. Yeah, he's probably watching Blackpink videos. He's been watching a lot of Blackpink videos lately. And that K-pop can be addictive though, for real. How easy that can be bought. Well, you know, everybody has a price, and apparently your price is Terrifier too. But Terrifier was pretty brutal though. Like, I mean, I don't know if I want to say it's the most brutal movie I've seen, because I've seen some pretty brutal movies, and I'd have to, and some of them I've seen a while ago, so I probably have to like compare them or blah 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 blah. So I don't know. I'll say it's definitely up there with some of the most brutal movies I've seen, and certainly the most brutal movie I've seen in recent times. So yeah, Terrifier was pretty brutal, especially that scene where he's got the woman hanging upside down and just saws her in half. That was like right through the, you know what I mean? Put a split where the split was, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just, dude. Or donuts. Well, I mean, if you're gonna be bought, donuts, cheesecake, I'm just saying. Brutal in an awesome way, oh, for real. But yeah, no, I like the whole thing about the was it the thorn, the thing. I mean, like I say, they probably get at that point where it's like, you know, you got to do something to give him some kind of identity, and it did feel like it was made up on the spot, you know what I mean? Like, it did kind of feel like that. Like, this was not the plan all along. This is something they came up with just for the sake of having something to make some kind of sense, rather than, oh, Michael's back again and they're gonna kill him again and he's back again and they're gonna, you know what I mean? So I get it. Well, it was alright. You know, it made sense within the context of the movie and what they were doing, so I'm okay with it. But yeah, this version, at least, the version I watched at least, definitely took more of a telling a story route than just being a slasher horror movie route. And not a problem with that. No, I don't have an issue with people changing directions slightly. Sometimes you got to do it. And I feel like it worked overall. But yeah, it did feel a bit slow, especially in the beginning. But Donald Pleasance, though, Donald Pleasance being the guy who takes over to look after Michael Myers, or Loomis rather, being the guy who takes over looking after Michael Myers. But then Donald Pleasance dies after that movie was released, so it's like, I mean, that was 1995. Donald Pleasance died, let's see, in well, in 95 actually. So I guess he would have made that film, died, and then that movie would have been coming out just that same year. Well, he would have died before its release, actually, because it does say in memory. Yeah, never mind. It wouldn't have died after it release. It would have died before it. That makes more sense. I don't hate it completely. I just think they overcomplicate it. Yeah, well, maybe. I mean, I guess, yeah, I'd have to. But then again, I think with Halloween H2O, I think did they start the story again with Halloween H2O? I think they ignore certain aspects of the series with H2O, don't they? I actually don't remember. I know I've seen it, but I really don't remember what happens. A long time ago. But yeah, I guess there's some cool stuff they could have done had they continued that whole Rune Fawn kind of thing storyline. There's like all kinds of stuff you could have done with that, but well, yeah, H2O takes place after Halloween 2. So yeah, different timelines, different storylines, and well, They add some gold or red eye rings, and you know the eye you see out here is usually blue. You can look it up just to see. Wait, that's the demon eye you're talking about, Brack, sorry. You're one gripe at HTML though. What's the gripe? I remember watching some 20 years later on TV as a kid. Watching Halloween H2O 20 years later, 20 years after it was released. Well, I guess we're technically doing that as well. That was like 1998, so what 24 years, but okay, still. Yeah, this is just me, but I think it's too much like Scream. It didn't have the same Halloween feel. Seriously. Okay. I mean, that's a fair gripe. I mean, I'd have to... Well, once I see it again, I could try and remember what bloody hell happened in it. But yeah, I think that's a fair gripe. I mean, Halloween's a series that started long before Scream. They shouldn't be copying Scream, really. But yeah, sometimes movies do that. Things that come before start copying the things that come after it. I do try to be fair about movies, but that always bothered me. Scream 6 is out. Well, I guess they're making it to be out soon. Is it Scream? Yeah, Scream 6, isn't it? That's the next one. 2023. So still a while away. But Scream 6, I think with the exception of Courtney Cox, it's pretty much an entirely new cast. Well, I say new. Some of them have been in Scream movies before. But in terms of like the original lineup, I think Courtney Cox might be the only one from the original movies. Since they killed off Dewey, and Nev Campbell is not coming back for this one. So yeah, I think Courtney Cox just might be the only original cast member coming back for this, unless something happens where they can get Nev Campbell back in, where they could strike out some deal or whatever. Courtney Cox might be the only original returning cast member. Well, technically you've got the guy who does the voice, Roger L. Jackson, but then I don't think he was in all movies though. I don't think Roger Jackson did the voice in all the Scream movies. Or did he? No, I think he did actually. He did. He did the voice in all the Scream movies. He also did Mojo Jojo, by the way. He's the voice of Mojo Jojo. So yeah, Roger Jackson. Well, just Courtney Cox and Roger Jackson are the only original actors due to come back for Scream 6. I think you can work with that, Nev, if they have a good storytelling, but it's a shame. Yeah, I think it could definitely work without Nev Campbell. With I can't remember her character's name right now, but yeah, it could definitely work with her, because I mean the last like 2-3 movies, her character really took a back seat anyway. You know, in the last, like, I think like Scream 4 and 5, her character, especially with 5, like her character really took a back seat. So yeah, I think they could definitely come up with a good story that doesn't involve her character at all. But yeah, it's just a shame that, especially the way it went down, you know, like it went down such a crappy way. But yeah, it can be done. I mean, I don't doubt they could still make a good movie without her. It's just a shame that they're gonna have to make a good movie without her. L Cool J was in 20 years. Yeah. LL shitting from the top of the game. I shot ya. That's happening there though. I mean, it's always cool when we could keep the original actors. I think any series that goes on for a while, if you could have the original actors in there in some capacity, even if it is smaller roles, you know, if you could have the original, it's always just a cool thing. But the reality is, unfortunately, it just doesn't go that way for one reason or another. But I would guess that Courtney Cox's character probably won't have a massive role in Scream 6. That would be my guess. Of course, we'll have to wait and see. But my guess is that her character would be more like a consultant type character. You know, the type of person that they go to get advice to how to deal with this new copycat killer or whatever type killer it's going to be in this version. That's what I'm guessing. But of course, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. By the way, Roger Jackson, who does the voice in Scream, he's also in The Sims 2 as Elder Male Sim. So if you've played Sims 2, which Sam, I know you have, the Elder Male Sim is the same voice, or the same guy, the same actor who does the voice, the scary voice in the Scream movies. And now you know. Now you know. Random mashed potatoes and rice, regular or garlic, doesn't matter to me. I do like some mashed potatoes, so I can't lie. I got fans who hate that Nev Campbell ain't in there. So I'll find it, and I'm in the middle. I mean, the truth is, there's just, I feel like there's no point being mad about it, because then there's nothing we can do about it, right? You know, they're not gonna be like, well, we just won't make the movie then. You know, they're gonna make the movie, right? And you either go to see it or you don't go to see it. You're either gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. There's no point being mad about it, really, because at the end of the day, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. Nev Campbell did what she felt was best for her. They did what they felt was best for them, and the end result is that she's not in the movie, you know. And yeah, it's a shame, but no point being angry, because it's like they're gonna make the movie anyway, they're gonna release it anyway, and if you go in there angry because one actor's not in it, you might end up missing out on what's otherwise a great film. I mean, it could be trash anyway, of course, that could still happen, but if you're going in there immediately just wanting to hate it, then you're going to hate it. You know what I mean? I feel like when things like this happen, it's just you're still going with an open mind. Let the movie do what it does. It's either gonna be a great thing, or it's gonna be an okay thing. It's not gonna matter. It's gonna whatever. We'll see. But yeah, there's no point being mad about it. It's just a shame that money gets in the way of a lot of things. If it's a good movie, I'll be happy. I've been playing a lot of Sims. It's the same Sims a lot lately. Recently. Well, I guess you've been hearing Roger Jackson's voice a lot lately then. And might not even have known it. Or I don't know, maybe you didn't know it. To love Halloween ends, but that crushed. Aaron Carter, yeah, man, 34 years old. Man, I was doing some ish for years, messed up his mental health. He was getting better a couple of times. Yeah, baby, son. Shake my head. Yeah, sad news, man. "34 years old. Yeah, it's so sad when you know, when people die young like that. Mental health's a bitch. What can you say? Yeah, it's a shame that he wasn't able to get the help he needed. I mean, I didn't know much about what he was going through. I don't know. Well, I wasn't know much about Aaron Carter, to be honest. I knew he had some singles and albums and things like that out. But yeah, apparently he was really going through some tough times and using while going through those times, and well, I guess it all caught up with him. Similar thing happened to Eddie Guerrero, who's a wrestler. You know, he was like drink, drugs, all kinds of stuff for years. And then he finally got clean, you know, started taking care of himself. But by then, it was kind of too late, because like a lot of the damage had already been done. And even though he was, you know, in a better place, like, you know, mentally and all that kind of stuff, a lot of the physical damage had already been done, and it all kind of caught up with him, and he ended up dying from like I think it was like heart failure. But he wasn't doing drugs at the time, but a lot of the damage to his system from all the drugs and alcohol and everything that he was doing before, it just all eventually caught up with him, you know. And yeah, I think he was about the same age, like 30 something, 36 I think, or similar age. And then Takeoff from the Migos. That's another sad one as well recently. He was at 27. Yeah, he got help number of times. Was on the doctors. And Dr. Phil, right, said it was bound to happen. Dr. Phil said it was bound to happen. My mother said it was inevitable in his case. Ah, damn, man. Yeah, no, I did see that post. Yeah, I think he said something like, was it thanks, bro, or stuff like that. But yeah, Alan's all gassed about it. So Matt commented on Alan's video. Maybe after this, Tom Matt can get Alan to be in one of his videos. How about how cool would that be? Tom Mac hits up Alan, be like, "Yo, Alan, I know you like my stuff. How about you come over and be in one of my videos? I'll pay for your flight, pay for your hotel. You just got, all you gotta do is say yes." Take off in there in case this could have been prevented. I mean, it was 28, but you were close. 28, oh, 28, okay. But yeah, still young dude though. I was trying to think though if any celebrities have commented on any of my videos. I guess kinda. I mean, I'm not sure if celebrity is the right way to describe the person. I mean, he's known, I guess, but he's not like everybody knows him. But there was a professional comedian that commented on one of my videos. But it was more so to request that he was making a request that I react to one of his comedy videos. Dude was making a request. It was like, "Hey, why don't you react to one of my?" I was doing some, more reactions back then, and it was like, "Yeah, why don't you check out some of my stuff?" And yeah, it was a professional comedian that I have heard of before, but I didn't know much about him. In fact, I don't really know much about him now, to be honest. But I know he's a professional comedian. So that's I don't know. But yeah, I don't think any like real famous people have commented on my videos. I don't think that's happened. If it has, then I just didn't know they were famous. New song is actually, I was a bit unsure at first, but it's definitely a grower. I once had a mini conversation with the singer from Lacuna Coil. That was cool. Okay. Lacuna Coil. That's was it Swedish? A Swedish band? Or I know their song. They had that song. What was that song they had? I've forgotten. I've forgotten. But yeah, I know the band. Even though I can't remember anything of they've done right now. But I know the band. Yeah, the young New York rapper, Edo Baby. Never heard of him. Committed suicide a few nights ago. Damn, man, that's a shame. Italian. Okay, that's close, right? I mean, they're both in Europe, right? So, kinda. But yeah, I guess it is a cool thing where somebody that you sort of respect, you like their music, you like what they do, that acknowledges something that you've done. It's a cool feeling. Yeah. No, I saw that actually. Yeah. I saw they posted about breast cancer. But apparently she's okay. The post that I saw said that she was okay. Well, just recovering. But yeah. Some supercell storms with some tornadoes came through Friday evening and night, stretched up to Idabel, Oklahoma. What's a cell storm? Is that like where the storm is like in a concentrated area? I'm just guessing, by the way. That's what it sounds like it could be. But yeah, get your boobies checked, and fellas, get your nuts checked, get your prostate checked. I'm saying that I should do that myself. Actually, I should take my own advice. But yeah, get these things checked because early detection is key. And guys, I get it. Nobody wants to have to bend over in front of a doctor or whatever, but could save your life, man. Could save your life. Yo, what up, Ben? Do you like football or soccer? I mean, I don't not like it. I don't really follow it too much these days. I haven't really followed football for a very, very long time, for many, many, many years at this point. But I don't not like it, you know. It's alright. I mean, I might check on some of the bigger games every now and then, but I'm generally not keeping up with the goings on in the football world. So yeah. Do you like football? Does anybody here like football or soccer for my American friends? Yeah, supercells are a very storm with dynamics to produce a strong tornado. I see. My uncle died of cancer a few months back. It sucks. Rest in peace to Uncle. Yeah. But yeah, early detection is key with these things. And then, yeah. Ugh. He's the only one with that side with me I could stand. Storms came through here, but wasn't as bad as the radar detected. That's before the weather system came through. That sounds pretty bad, Brax. But yeah, no, it's always sad when people close to you pass, especially when it's like people, like good people, like people who are like good to you, and it's tough, man. Years ago, a study showed coffee reduces the chances of developing breast cancer. Is that true? Because I've been drinking a lot of coffee lately. So does that reduce my chances of getting breast cancer? That sounds like I'm making a joke, and I kind of am. But the truth is, men can actually get breast cancer. It's very, very rare in men, but it is possible. But yeah, I guess if I'm drinking coffee, then I take something that's already rare and reduce the chances even further. Bacon makes for low sperm count. Well, I don't eat bacon anyway, so I'm good there. Very good there. All I need to do now is find fertile ground to impregnate. A fertile garden to plant my seeds in. I don't mind bacon if I can't taste it. Well, I guess to be fair, you don't have to worry about it causing a low sperm count. So, it's probably not a concern. I'm assuming. In the UK, one in 3 women who are eligible for smear tests don't go get checked, ladies. That's probably true. I mean, I haven't looked into that, but I'd imagine that's probably true. I think a lot of times, you know, people, men, women, don't go for the checks that we should be going for. You know, and I've got to include myself in that. You know, I don't always go for the checks that I should be going for. I ain't saying that it makes it a good thing or makes it okay. I'm just saying, I get it. Go to Aldi, plenty of Lady Garden there, and at a very affordable price. Well, I don't know. I mean, Sainsbury's a bit more upmarket, and they keep promising to price match with Aldi, so maybe I should try that instead. Well, actually, I should go to Aldi, check the Aldi prices, then go to Sainsbury's and be like, well, Aldi are doing it for like 5 pence less, so what are you saying, Sainsbury's? What are you saying? Turkey bacon, black pepper bacon, and apple smoked wood bacon are my favorites. I've tried turkey bacon a few times in the past. It's alright. It's alright. I don't think I've tried black pepper bacon, or was it apple smoked wood bacon? Well, I'm guessing those ones are actually like pig meats. That black pepper bacon and this apple smoked wood. I'm guessing those ones are just variants of the pig meats bacon. And in which case, yeah, I'm not gonna be trying those anytime soon. So, but yeah, I have tried turkey bacon a few times in the past. I've actually tried vegan bacon a few weeks, maybe a month or so ago. It was alright, but it's very rubbery. Like it feels when you bite it, it's just chewy, like rubber, like a soft rubber. But the taste ain't too bad. Whether it tastes like actual bacon or not, I couldn't tell you. Well, you got in there, man. Look at you being a high class. No, well, that's a good point, actually. Good point. Good point. Yeah. All right, let me stick to my my Aldi or Lidl. I mean, at least it's not Netto. You know, I feel like once you start going to like Netto, then you're really you're really hitting it low. I don't even know if Netto is still around. They're probably not. They're probably not. They're probably gone. They're probably long gone. But yeah. But yeah, maybe yeah, it'd be nice to, like, you know, meet me a woman, fall in love, or do all that stuff. That'd be nice. What about Netto? They did a nice tomato sauce. What, tomato sauce is in like ketchup, or tomato sauce is in like pizza base? Seems like most UK high streets these days are just takeaways, bookies and tattoo parlors. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, and vape shops. Don't forget the vape shops. But yeah, pretty much. Pasta sauce. Oh, okay, gotcha. But yeah, no, that is true. A lot of shops you'll see in the high street are pretty much takeaways or other types of restaurants. Cafes are still quite popular. So I guess food establishments really, I guess what it comes down to. But yeah, you'll see a lot of the bookies around, a lot of like smaller ones and a lot of the large ones that have been around a while. Tattoo shops, yeah, pretty popular. But yeah, like the high street has definitely changed a lot, you know, from when I was a kid till now. Like the types of shops are just so vastly different. You know, you still get some of the old school places, of course, that still around, are still doing good business. But yeah, the way the internet has just changed the way we shop, right? And because of that, a lot of stuff gets done online versus going out. But there's few things that is still better to do in a shop. Are things like, you know, I mean, yeah, you could get food delivered to your house, but it's not the same experience as going to, say, a restaurant or a cafe and sitting down and being in that environment, you know. And I think people still value that particular experience, which is why a lot of, you know, like restaurants and cafes and things like that are still doing pretty good business. So yeah. But whereas clothes, like, you still get a lot of clothing shops as well. There's still a lot of clothing shops. But when it comes to other things like, you know, CDs or DVDs, yeah, a lot like the HMVs. The HMV is still around, but there's not many of them anymore. And you just find like it's more like the big supermarkets that have like a music section these days, rather than, I mean, you do get some dedicated music shops. They do still exist, but they're usually a bit more specialized. Like they only sell vinyl or you know, or only sell certain, you know what I mean, stuff like that. So they are around, but yeah, it's definitely, the internet's definitely changed the landscape. So Miss Woolies, yeah, Woolworths. I think Woolworths still around actually. Let me see, because I think they might be just an online shop now. Okay, no, they're not. They actually got purchased. So in February 2009, Shop Direct Group, who are now called the Very Group, purchased Woolworths' trademark and internet address, which continued as a retail website until it's closed. Oh wait, no, it's closed. my bad. So they got bought over by the Very Group, and they ran it up until 2015 until they closed. So yeah, nah, it's they're gone. Woolworths existed up until 2009, and then it became Very, and then that ended in 2015. Did you prefer Virgin or HMV? I'm not sure if I had a preference between those two, to be honest. I remember Tower Records, which went out of business long before the internet came around. But I remember Tower Records, and they were pretty cool. But I think between HMV and Virgin, I probably would say I preferred HMV, mainly because they had bigger stores that you can get more stuff from, and they did, like, you know, games and shirts and posters and stuff like that. Whereas Virgin, not so much. At least not the stores that I saw anyway. I think Virgin mostly had the smaller shops, because there used to be R Price. If you remember R Price, I think Virgin bought over R Price. So it was a lot of the smaller shops, at least the ones I saw anyway. And it was fine, I guess, but yeah, I think I'd say I preferred HMV, but if I was really choosing, Tower Records. It's weird because some old UK shops are still around in other countries. Woolworths is in Oz, although mainly groceries, etc. And CNA, remember them? Yeah, I remember CNA. They still have stores in mainland Europe. Okay, so it's just the UK that they're not around in. Actually, I did see something I just hit. Actually, yeah, Woolworths online shopping. .co.za or ZA. I was saying ZA for ZA. I guess is that New Zealand? ZA? Actually, no, it's not. That's South Africa. ZA is South Africa. I was way off. So Woolworths still exists in South Africa, but not in the UK. Hey, I guess they're doing all right still. They're doing something somewhere, and they got a store in Australia as well. But yeah, like you said, it's groceries. Yeah, Virgin was bigger, but it was more expensive. Virgin did the headphone where you could listen to albums. Yeah, I think I remember those actually, where you just had like the thing set up and you put the headphones on and you just listen. You just stand there and no one would kick you out. Well, most days they won't. Sometimes if they don't like you, they would. How do you feel about physical media? Do you prefer it to streaming? Yes and no. I mean, I prefer physical media because, well, it's physical and, you know, you like to hold and have something, and it's definitely a different experience to physical media than there is to streaming. That being said, streaming is far more convenient. It is far more convenient, and I think a lot of times that convenient factor wins out. You know, I think that's what happens with me. I think that's what happens with a lot of people. It's not that you necessarily prefer streaming, but the convenience of it just wins out. You know, I don't have to worry about carrying a whole bunch of albums and stuff with me. I can stream music from my phone, and it doesn't matter where I am. I can literally listen to just about any song, any album I want to, anytime, in almost anywhere. You know, so the convenience of it is unbeatable right now. So yeah, physical media is great, and I would say in general I prefer it, but convenience is king. Convenience is king. I do still buy physical media, by the way, but I mostly buy vinyl when it comes to physical media these days. So if it's an artist that I like and I want to support, I'll buy their vinyl, because a lot of independent artists release stuff on vinyl. Or if it's an old school artist, I might try and get some stuff that of some classic albums that I really like. Like it's my most recent purchase, Kylie Minogue's very first album, and this is, by the way, a 1988 pressing of the album. The the box, what do you call it, the vinyl, I don't know what it's called, the case, this bit, it's not, you can't really tell, it's in decent condition, but there are some marks and tears in a few places, and the inlay is a bit crumpled. I don't know if you could tell from the camera. It probably looks fine from the camera, but it is a little bit crumpled. In fact, you can probably see that there's a tear down there actually, where the disc is coming through. But I paid like £15 for this, which is probably more than I should be paying for 30-plus-year-old vinyl, right? But quite frankly, it's less than I would have paid. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is a bargain. The way Hicks Smith used to do that too in the late 90s. Not in the ones here, man. The shelves was too small. Braxton's back. You couldn't beat buying an album though. Hurrying home to play it was always for real. For real, man. It was just like that time you know, 80s, 90s. And especially like for me being a teenager during that time as well, it's like, you know, you get home from school, all you had was time. You could put on an album and just listen to it and do nothing else. Like, I'm thinking about this. When was the last time you listened to an album and did nothing else? That's a rare treat these days, where you could just actually listen to an album from beginning to end and do nothing else. You know, that's, yeah. These days it's like in the car while doing the housework, doing this, and the music's on in the background, but take what you can get. What would I have paid for it? Boy. What would I have paid for this? Kylie Minogue's very first debut album, original 1988 pressing. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I would go to about £50 or £60. That being said, I've never spent £50 on a vinyl, but depending on the vinyl, I feel like I would go to that. I may even go more depending on the artist, depending on how good good a condition it is, that sort of thing. And it's not like I've got bare money to be spending on vinyl. I don't want to create an impression. I'm just saying, in my mind, it would be worth paying that money for. I wouldn't pay for something if it meant going broke, but it would be worth it to me if I'd paid that, is what I mean to say. Like, for example, I was looking at getting Doja Cat's album on vinyl. Her second album is called Hot Pink. Superb album, one of my favorite albums over the last few years. But I've only seen it on Amazon going for about 30 something pounds. And as much as I like Doja Cat and I like the album, I feel like I don't want to pay £30 for that. I'd rather that. I feel like £15 to £20 would be my max for that album. £30 seems a bit much, you know, because it's not an old album. It's not like it's from, you know, 1981 or something, and it's still in great condition. Then I might be like, okay, I could pay a little bit more for this. This is an album that came out like a few years ago, like three years ago, and it's a good album. Like I said, it's a great album, but 30 quid seems a bit much for me. I'm like, you know what, 15, 20 quid. If I say 15, 20 quid, cool. But 30, that's a stretch. Yeah, it's different when it's clapping. Yeah, exactly. Oh, anymore. Oh, you listen on the go. But yeah, it's like everything's just in the way, so you just listen to music as you can, which is usually while doing other things. But anytime you can get to actually just sit down, put an album on and listen to it and not do anything else, that's a rare treat these days. You don't create an instant classic. I don't care how many people say it's an instant classic. Yeah, I mean, that term kind of irks me a little bit, to be honest with people. It's an instant classic. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand what they're saying. I understand that they're just trying to express that they think it's really good. I get that, you know. I understand that. I understand what it's meant by it. But at the same time, it does kind of cheapen the term classic, because you can't be an instant classic. You know what I mean? But by the very definition of classic, it means that it has stood the test of time. So, instant classic, you know what I mean? It's like, you kind of instantly stood the test of time. It's just come out. You know what I mean? Come back in 5 years, 10 years or whatever, then we can talk, maybe. But, yeah. But yeah, I get it. People just, when they say it, they mean it's really good. I understand that. They really like it. I understand that. But come on. So when people refer to someone as a legend, it's like, this guy's a legend. It's like, he's just come out. He's just literally just started their career. You know what I mean? You might be really. I'm not saying you're not good. I ain't trying to say you're rubbish. I ain't saying that. But you can't be a legend when you just started. You know what I mean? You just started. You're still new. Haven't even released your first album yet. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. You might have got a few singles and they're really good singles, but come on, you're not a legend. Not yet. You know, give it some time. Give it time. Maybe one day they would be a legend. I ain't saying that. Maybe one day they would be. I'm just saying, when you're just starting and you're still new, let's reserve words like legend and classic for things that have got some legs, you know, been around for a little while. Then we can start talking about legends and classics, you know what I mean? That sort of thing. Because me, a classic isn't necessarily something good, by the way. Oh, actually, let me rephrase that. A classic isn't necessarily something that I like. You know what I mean? Like, I might not necessarily care for a particular song or album or artist. They might not do much for me. But I can still recognize that it's a classic in a sense that it's been around a while. Lots of people clearly love it over a period of time. I might not be one of those people, but at the very least, I can still recognize that it's done something for many people over a period of time, and therefore it can still be considered a classic. So for me, calling something a classic doesn't necessarily mean that I personally think it's great, or I personally like it. It might not necessarily be that. I'm just recognizing that it has had an impact over a period of time, even if I might not be one of the people that it's impacted in any particular way, you know. I find it frustrating how they can revoke your music even if you buy it due to licensing it. Happened to me on a few occasions, and they often change versions from. Oh, what do you mean streaming? Yeah, no, for sure, yeah, for sure, yeah. That is an issue, and that's what it's. I mean, I don't know how often it happens. To be fair, I don't think it happens a lot. Well, what happened to you? A few times, so maybe it's happened more than most people, but even still, it just sucks that you can buy something, and because you don't have a physical copy of it, the host of that thing that you own, or you don't really own it when it comes down to it, but a host can, they can change it, or you can have a license change, or, you know, there's been a few examples in recent times where a song itself has been changed, and then the original version is no longer available. You know, so that can happen. So yeah, there's a big convenience factor to it, but it also comes with those downsides as well, where things can change and there's nothing you can do about it. Favorite ever album? Metallica have classics here for sure. You know, man, I'm gonna with the Black Album by Metallica. Good choice. That was a cracking album. That era of Metallica was when I first found them, and I listened to that album from start to finish and realized there was not one bad song in it. Another thing that irks me is when films are changed from their original versions. I mean, for me, I don't necessarily mind different versions of stuff, because that's always going to happen. You know, different version of a song, different version of a movie, different version of this. It just kind of like, it just sucks when the original version is no longer available. That's the thing for me, because there's always been like different versions of songs, right? You know, artists would have a radio edit version, an album version, a live version, a remix version, a version featuring this. There've always been different versions of the same song, but the original version has always been available. Now it seems like something could get changed, and then that original version is no longer available, at least not anywhere legally. You could find it if you really want to find it, but as far as like legal methods go, it's gone. You can't find it on YouTube. You can't find it on Spotify. You can't find it on any streaming platform. It's gone, and all that's left is this version that's been changed. And yeah, that sucks for me. So I don't have an issue with things being changed so much. It's more the fact that when it does get changed, that original version disappears, and that's what sucks. That's what I think sucks, really. But let's see, favorite ever album though. I mean, the Black Album is definitely up there for me. I remember buying that album on cassette tape, getting home, listen to it beginning to end, and then right back, you know, turn the tape over and listen to it all over again. So yeah, definitely up there with my favorite albums. But if I had to pick one favorite, damn man, that's a tough choice, because I feel like there's lots of albums for me, especially during that period of time of music, like 90s. There's quite a few albums that mean a lot to me for different reasons, you know. I don't know if I can pick just one, because I feel like I'm gonna say one, and but yeah, definitely the Black Album is up there. Blood Sugar Sex Magic by the Red Hot Chili Peppers is up there. Lauryn Hill's Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is up there for me. Pantera's Vulgar Display of Power. Yeah, but there's a few. They're just, yeah. There's a few. More than an album though. Slipknot. We Are Not Your Kind really hits for me. Did you know in E.T. they changed the guns into walkie-talkies via CGI for the 20th anniversary release? I did not know that, actually. But I mean, I assume I guess I haven't checked, but I assume you can still get that original version of E.T. on DVD or video or something, right? You can, or is that just not available anymore? Don't tell me they got rid of the original version. Because if they got rid of the original version, that's really gonna suck. Yeah, I was listening to Slipknot's We Are Not Your Kind the other day, actually, because that's one of the albums that, although I listened to when it came out, I didn't really listen to a whole lot. So it's not one of their albums that I'm that familiar with. But I was listening to it the other day, and yeah, so it stands up pretty well, I think. It holds up pretty well, rather. Yeah, they call that the sanitized version. Damn, man. I want guns in E.T. I haven't seen E.T. for years. So if you hadn't told me that, and I watched E.T. again, I probably wouldn't even notice. I mean, I guess it depends how good the CGI is, but I probably wouldn't have even noticed, because I don't think I've seen E.T. for years. So something like that, I probably wouldn't notice if you hadn't mentioned it. Now that you've mentioned it, I'll be looking out for it if I watch it again. Green Day, American Idiot album. What's my favorite? Oh yeah, Don't Wanna Be an American Idiot. Album is above Master Puppets. Is Memories for me. Master Puppets was a great album. And Justice for All, that was my first Metallica album. Well, the first Metallica album that I heard, I should say. So yeah, that's up there as well for me. One Hot Minute by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's around about the time that I saw them live in concert, when that album got released. So they were performing that on stage. Yeah, I think there's just different albums that mean different things to me for different reasons, you know. Man, I think the first ever album I bought with my own money was Paula Abdul's Head Over Heels, and that was a great album. That was a great album. I listened to that a lot. It was the very first album I bought on CD with my... Actually, no, it wasn't. It was the first album I bought on CD. It wasn't the first album I bought. The first album I bought with my own money, I'm not even sure I remember. Might have been Vanilla Ice, actually. To the Extreme. It might be Vanilla Ice to the extreme. Damn, or maybe Inner Circle, Bad to the Bone. Oh, what was the album called? No, the album wasn't called Bad to the Bone. What was the album called? There was a song on that album called Bad to the Bone, but I don't think the album was called Bad to the Bone. But I think one of those was the first album I ever bought on cassette. But yeah, Paula Abdul, Head Over Heels, that's definitely the first album I bought on CD. But I don't remember the first album I bought on tape. It was either Vanilla Ice or Inner Circle. And then Your Cam came out at the right time for me. I gone through it and just related to it so much. Yeah, songs just hit different when you can relate to it like that. Anyone else ever record songs off the radio? Yeah, show my age. Always tried to stop it before the radio presenter would start talking. Yep. I remember that. I remember that. Them days. I listen to the radio top 100. Yeah. You know what? I think just by saying that, Ben, I'm guessing you're at least 35. I'm guessing. Probably a bit older if you're recording tapes of the radio, but I'm reckoning at least 35. But yeah, that's a thing back then, isn't it? It was just a time where, you know, it's like what, before Napster. Yeah, I mean, before Napster, LimeWire, all them things, yeah. You know, you'd be calling stuff on the radio and DJ would just talk all over it. They knew the people recording stuff. That's why they could keep talking. They knew they were recording it. So they like turn the volume down and start talking. It's like, mate. But also like back then, or more sort of 90s really, I was like really big into jungle. And so you're always looking for like the pirate radio stations. And then it was a little bit different because even though they would still talk over it, it was done in a way where the DJ would do it as if it was kind of like part of the track. So they'd be doing like a kind of like a jungle type kind of rap almost. And you know, like there'd be like a lot of like freestyling, you know, stuff like that. And so you could record stuff over like a pirate jungle radio station. And even though the DJ's just like doing his thing, you kind of had to, because like for one thing, it was a pirate station. You never know when it could be back again, right? And even if they do come back, you're not going to hear that. So you could just kind of like have that on tape, and it'd just be like this not personalized, but like a unique thing that you'd have that you recorded for like an hour or whatever, and just listen to that. Yeah, jungle was big back in the day. At least in my school, in my era, jungle was big. That was a big thing. It's like early 90s. That's it. Yeah. Me, I like Jungle. You know, say jungle music that for everybody. Come from everyone, you know. Jungle. You know, say jungle music that for everyone. Man, jungle was big back then. It was like, I mean, it had like some more mainstream stuff like General Levy and Incredible that was doing big things at the time, and Shy FX with Original Nutter that was doing big things at the time. But there was so many like underground artists, like underground jungle artists, that even hardcore jungle fans probably never heard of, because they were like mad underground, and a lot of it was like pirate radio. But it was just that time was just like it was perfect for it, you know. So like you'd be like recording stuff, you might lend it to your friend like lend you some stuff, you know, and because it was all pirate, there was no consistent schedule, you know, you never knew when it was going to be on. It was just kind of like word of mouth a lot of the time, and even then it's like they might have to like shut down real quick because the police could be chasing them, you know. So if you listen to like one radio station and it just be like, it'll just cut off, you know, just cut off because they got the dust when the police aren't coming, you know. And but yeah, that was the thing. Oh man, good Good times, man. Good times. For real, those were the days indeed. I mean, pirate radio stations, by the way, are still around. There are still some. I mean, I don't know of any because I'm not really checking for it like I used to. But I was talking to somebody a little while ago, and they were like, the pirate radio station is still around. I guess it's not surprising. But at the same time, I guess the thing nowadays is you probably don't really need to be a pirate radio station anymore, because whereas back then, to be on the radio, you needed, licensing and things like that. So pirate radio stations would be hijacking the airwave, and that's what made it illegal. These days, you don't really need to be doing that, because you could upload stuff on SoundCloud or Mixcloud or YouTube and whatever, and just do that, or just go on Twitch and do a set there. So I guess it's not a massive surprise that pirate radio still exists, but at the same time, it's like it doesn't really need to, at least not in the way that it used to, because back then it was like serving music to communities that, for artists that didn't really get on the radio, that didn't really get on like the mainstream radio. So it'd be a lot of like underground artists, local artists and stuff like that, and quite a few artists kind of made their first sort of grounds by being on pirate radio stations and then getting known through that, and then moving more into like bigger things later on. Whereas these days, because you don't really need that anymore, because you can find independent artists, you can find local artists in very easy legal methods now. So I guess some people just like the thrill of being chased by the police for hijacking radio waves. I guess some people just love the thrill of it and still do it, even though it's not something that's really needed like it used to be. Simpler times, better times, today's times can just fuck off and way too chaotic. Well, yeah, definitely some truth to that. I mean, I think there's good things about the modern world. It's not all bad. Not all good, clearly, but it's not all bad. You think in some ways it's harder these days to find new music and artists? Of course, you have more options to listen to music, but a lot of it is carefully curated. Still listen, appreciate your backs. I don't know, I mean, I guess that there's a lot of things that make it easier for artists to get their name out there now, because you don't have to worry too much, or you don't have to rely as much on, being signed or that sort of thing. And there's more viable options of creating your own fan base these days, whether it's through YouTube or SoundCloud or Twitch or all various platforms, and of course there's still the old-fashioned, doing gigs and that sort of stuff. So I guess there's more options for independent artists to be out in the world without relying on a label. That being said, anything that makes things more accessible, more people start doing it. Interesting enough, this conversation I had with my podcast guest. So look out for that podcast coming on the podcast channel, where I talked to Zio Zenado, who's an independent grime artist. And yeah, it's like when things have become more accessible, more people start doing it. So there's a lot more options for artists, but there's also a lot more artists, right? And that's both a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because there's more choice, there's more variety, and then it means that the type of music that 30, 40 years ago wouldn't see the light today now has the potential of finding an audience, right? So that's a good thing. But yeah, there is that fact that there is a lot more, and there's a lot more to look through and a lot more to find and a lot more to get through to before you potentially find the stuff that you like. And not everybody is willing to do that. You know, you only have a limited amount of time in a day, and not everybody has the time to be looking through 100 artists just in case they like one of them, you know. So it's both easier and harder at the same time. I think, you know, there's more choice, there's more options, but there's also more choice and more options. So yeah, what's good about it? People suck, most music sucks, films mostly trash, today's era sucks. I don't know, I mean, the MCU movies are pretty good, so there's that. Might be more choice, but there is a lot less substance. Yeah, I think yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot, because I think there's more there. I mean, it's like I feel like I'm agreeing and disagreeing with that, Sam, because like I definitely see there's artists out there that are just putting stuff out because it's popular and there's no real soul behind it, no feeling behind it. It's just vacant music. And you know, some people like that, so it is what it is, right? It is what it is. But at the same time, it's like you can't be. You know what I mean? Like if people like it, then people like it. It kind of feels like there's artists that exist pretty much to put out music that really doesn't say anything and has no value beyond, you know, just it doesn't seem to make any kind of real points or doesn't really have any feeling. It's saying it's a music that says a lot. It's saying a lot while saying nothing. But if people like it, then it's like it is what it is, and it's just like perhaps that's more a reflection of the society that we created, that the kids are living in now, because they can relate to that more than we can. But then this is a result of the world that us old folks created, right? You know, I don't think we get to be innocent in all of this. We created this world, and in this world, this music exists, and the kids coming up relate to that because they live in the world that we created. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe the substance is there. It's just not meant for us to understand. Apart from Takeshi 69, that guy just sucks. Like, oh, that guy, that sucks. Apart from that guy, everyone else gets a pass. That guy, no, he just sucks. But you know what? Even him, it's like people seem to like it. It is what it is, man. There's not really much you can do about that. It's I create this shit. I'll stay on my own. Listen to the stuff I listened to way back when. I was given this world, I didn't break it. No, that's how it goes. I was given this world, I didn't make it. Yeah. But yeah, one of my beliefs though is that there's no such thing as bad music or bad art. It's just there's art you understand and art that you don't understand, right? That being said, yeah, some songs out there just absolutely suck. Like, because I try to listen to stuff and be like, okay, I don't get it, or it's not really doing anything for me, but you know, other people might understand it, and I guess it speaks to people who, you know, relate to this more, and that's fine. Not everything's made for me. I get that, not a problem. But there's some songs I hear and I'm like, yo, this just actually sucks. Like I'm struggling to find any redeeming things about this song. It's just terrible. Like, what is this? Like, why? I'm gonna old and miserable yelling at people to get off my lawn. And I'm totally fine with that. Well, at least you're gonna have a lawn. That's pretty cool. At least you're gonna have a lawn. The way the world's going right now, I'm not too sure too many people are gonna have lawns in the future. You know, so if you're gonna have a lawn, then you're doing all right. You're doing pretty well, I think. You're doing pretty well. If I'm lucky, I might have a balcony. So, get off my balcony! Which, to be fair, would be a valid thing to say, because if I didn't invite you into my home, you should not be on my balcony. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Somebody uninvited on my balcony, that could be a problem. Like, so yeah. And we started yelling at the clouds. You're the wrong shape. Yeah, my own kids get my own. Well, they're gonna have to come round for like, you know, dinner and get you to wash their clothes for them and stuff like that, you know. Sam be like, oh, kids are around again. Get off my lawn! Cook your own damn food. Well, speaking of yelling, it is almost 4 minutes to 12. Well, it is 4 minutes to 12. So yeah, about time to start winding down. About time to start wrapping up. Oh, excuse me. I should hopefully be recording another podcast tomorrow with a martial artist. He's an actor and a martial artist. So that should be an interesting conversation. We could talk about martial art movies and stuff like that. But yeah, let's see. So, oh yeah, so the Buffy and the Angel videos, look out for those. In fact, the Buffy, no, so the Angel one, that should be uploaded. Is that, yeah, it's uploaded. So I just need to, it's not public yet, but it is uploaded. So I just need to turn on the public button. So I'll do that after the live stream. So look out for the Angel video. That should be public to watch. Oh, by the way, that might not make too much sense. When I say on YouTube, when your videos are public, that means people can see it. When it's private, people can't see it. That's just what I meant. But yeah, so I'll try and make that. I'll make that public after the live stream. So yeah, look out for that. And then yeah, I haven't uploaded the Buffy video yet, so I'll upload that, and then maybe that goes public tomorrow. So look out for that too. And yeah, both long ass videos, by the way. So yeah, make sure you got time to watch them. And what else? Yeah, look out for the podcast over on the podcast channel. So Ben, you might not know this, but I do run a podcast. It's called Uncivilized Arts. There's a link in the description. It is a geek and internet culture podcast. So we talk about movies, video games, and cool stuff like that. But it's a lot. I do a lot of interviews. Well, I try to do a lot of interviews on that. So I interview like content creators, YouTubers, Twitch streamers, journalists. Done a bunch of interviews so far, and hopefully still got a bunch more to go. But yeah, if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then please check that out. It's my Uncivilized Arts. And I just recorded a podcast today with a grime artist who's heavily influenced by anime and video games. So we talked a lot about that. So look out for that to come, hopefully in about a week or so. That should be up on the channel. But in the meantime, plenty of podcasts up there already. So yeah. And also, I've started very early work on the next Why It Sucks video. So Again, Ben, you might not know this, but I have another channel where I do movie reviews. Well, I mostly take the piss out of movies, make fun, nitpick, crack jokes, and hopefully make a few good points along the way. But that's Haze's Movie Room. There's a link to that in the description as well. So yeah, if that sounds like something that interests you, please check that out too. But yeah, I started working on the next video, which is what am I working on again? I've forgotten. Captain Marvel, that's it, Captain Marvel. So why Captain Marvel is trash is the next video, and so yeah, look out for that. So yeah, basically what I do is talk about why films are trash, but maybe not as bad as you might think they are, and maybe they're not really trash, but you know, they can still be, even put it this way, even good movies could be trash. Even good movies could be trash, and that's kind of the point, just making jokes and along the way. Where we at? Let me catch up with the chat a little bit. Have you seen a Barbarian? Possibly going to see that at a cinema tomorrow. I haven't yet been, but I want to. I watched Terrifier 2. Loved it. I've yet to see that, but I heard good. It's good. Just heads up. If you like gore, twisted humor, and all around silliness, it's one for you. Sounds right up the street. You're my kind of dude. Yeah, Terrifier. We watched Terrifier. Well, I watched Terrifier. So I haven't seen it before. But yeah, we do it. By the way, we do the movie nights every week. So we pick a movie each week. It's usually horror movies, not only horror movies, but there has been a lot of horror movies lately. Terrifier was last week, and that was brutal. We just watched Halloween 6 today, and that was aight. And then Terrifier 2 is next week. So how it works? So just so nobody's tuning in and getting disappointed. I can't actually show the movie on stream because, you know, copyright rules and blah blah blahs and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I get the movie through Amazon. I think it's like $9.99 the last I saw. So I'll buy the movie, watch it, and let you know what I'm thinking of it while I'm watching it. If you want to, and only if you want to, you can buy the movie from Amazon or anywhere else and watch it along with me. You don't have to do that. If you'd rather not, you can just come along and watch me watch the movie, and then we could talk about it afterwards, or talk about whatever, as we're doing now. We talk about all kinds of stuff, by the way. Our conversations could be wide and varied. So yeah, in fact, I think you saw a little bit of that being in the chat just recently. So yeah, it's like that. But yeah, next week is Terrifier 2. Let me just check real quick, actually, that it hasn't gone up in price and that like that, because boy, if Amazon jacked the prices up, you might be watching something else. I'm just saying. Oh, even better. The price has gone down. It's $7.99 now. Awesome. So yeah, Terrifier 2. That's next week. But yeah, you can buy or rent it if you want to. Only if you want to. You don't have to do that. But if you buy or rent it, then yeah, you can watch it along with me. But if not, then yeah, you can still come along and have some fun. We can talk about some serious stuff 1 minute and talk about Pistonics. That's how we go. Literally. Come next week, it'll be 17. Oh, mate, but you know, that's the thing, isn't it? When you see a price, right, and you think that's not a bad price. Like, it was $9.99. It's not a bad price. I see it now. It's gone down to $7.99. I'm like, okay, £2 cheaper. Cool, even better, right? I might. Now, I can either buy it now at $7.99, right? Buy it now at $7.99, or I can wait. And let's say I wait till next week, and the price is like, it could go down, which would be great. It could stay the same, which won't be too bad. Or like you say, it could just go up to $17.99 and be like, what the hell, man? Why didn't I buy it when it was, you know what I mean? You never know. Buy it now, just in case. Just in case. I'll buy it now for $7.99, come back next week, and it's like, actually, we're going to give this movie away for free. You never know. You never know, right? It is what it is. The days of watching other movie trailers on VHS before seeing the actual movie. Oh, yeah, I remember them days. Used to, well, actually, the first VHS player that we had didn't have a fast forward button. It only had a rewind button. So we had to actually watch all the trailers before the movie started. And I remember with RoboCop in particular, because I watched that so much back in the day. Like, I'd watch it, rewind it, watch it again, rewind it, watch it again. I watched it so much that at one point, I literally memorized all the trailers that were on before the movie. Like, I'd be like watching it, like, they had like a Phil Collins trailer for one of his concerts. It was a video for one of his concerts. And they'd be like, ha, 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 ha. And I'd be like doing the voices along with it. You know, they had like a Billy Connolly trailer for one of his stand-up specials. We don't give our dad the button for the telly. You know, they had, oh man, I can't remember them now. But yeah, there was quite a few that on there. Some DVDs and Blu-rays had them too, yeah. But with DVDs and Blu-rays, you could always skip past them easy enough. You know, you could just be like skip one button and it's done. Yeah. But guys, it is now 12:05. It is tomorrow right now. So yeah, time for me to start winding down and wrapping up. But you have been awesome as always. I appreciate you and all that you do. Thank you for keeping me company. Thank you for keeping it lively. The village is strong because you make it strong. And we're only going to get stronger. So until whenever, if ever, peace.